Detroit Lions fans, what's up? It's your boy Will back with another episode of Detroit Den 313, where we talk all things Detroit Lions. Today, flying solo, my boy Steve and I were planning on taking a day off today. Had a little bit of extra time, had a couple things on my mind. And there was a little bit of, I don't want to say breaking news, but a little bit of news that was released today because we did our pregame show yesterday. So we kind of got things concreted in stone with who will be playing, who won't be playing, last minute transactions that the Detroit Lions make. So I want to get into that. I also want to get into what are your Thanksgiving Day traditions, man? What do you do on Thanksgiving? You going to the game? Are you watching the game at home with family? What do you do? And wrapping this thing up, I'll wrap it up with your favorite Thanksgiving Day Detroit Lions football game moment. So getting into these injuries, man, we got some big ones. Carlton Davis. Carlton Davis, he's going to be out for this game. Not sure if we got Terry and Arnold. He's down there. He was full practice, but haven't got a game status. I know he's battling that groin. And an even bigger one than Carlton Davis to me is Taylor Decker, man. Taylor Decker is going to be out. Our QB's blind side is not going to be covered the way that it typically is covered. Also had Amon-Ra St. Brown and David Montgomery on that list. I think we both know that, or we all know that those guys are going to be out there unless there is just no possible way that it can happen, especially David Montgomery. This is a bit of a revenge game for him. So I'm excited to see how he does, even though he's a little bit banged up. Last minute transactions, last minute transactions. Here's what we're looking at. Khalif Raymond, kind of knew that going to the IR, he's going to be gone for an extended period of time. Good thing is we will get him back for this playoff run. Maurice Alexander, hopefully we're signing him maybe to catch those punts instead of Amon-Ra St. Brown being back there. Well, that's the last thing I want to see. Me and Steve talked about that in the game day episode is another situation where Amon-Ra St. Brown is back out there. David Long, we talked about him a lot here. He'll be active again and probably getting some more snaps. And the key one here is this to me, Jamarco Jones. Will it be Dan Skipper or will it be Jamarco Jones that's out there taking the majority of the snaps in replacement of Taylor Decker, protecting our quarterback's blind side? We know that Jared Goff is a guy who, well, I guess all quarterbacks prefer a clean pocket, but Jared Goff is a guy that really needs that clean pocket. He's not a guy that's going to beat you with his feet. He's not a guy that's going to be scrambling around. So can Dan Skipper do a better job than he did when he got the nod earlier in the season, or will it be Jamarco Jones? It will be interesting to see. From that secondary situation too, Emmanuel Mosley. Is it gonna be Kendall Vildor playing opposite of whoever our CB1 is, or will it be Emmanuel Mosley getting out there and finally getting his opportunity to show what he can do for the Detroit Lions? If you watch the show, that Steve and I are really cheering for Emmanuel Mosley to get an opportunity and hopefully has some success, man. So those are some things that I think that we should definitely keep an eye on going into this football game tomorrow. Nonetheless, the Detroit Lions have shown that they are a resilient bunch that's going to be ready, as my shirt says, for whatever. They're going to be ready for whatever, whoever gets injured, whatever is going on, whatever the situation is, the Detroit Lions are going to be ready to go. 10 quarters of football without a touchdown. Let's keep that thing going. Now, traditions. I'll be at the game tomorrow. That's the new Ford family tradition. We go to the Detroit Lions game and we do the Thanksgiving dinner afterwards. What's your tradition? Will you be at the game tomorrow? Are you watching the game at home with your immediate family and then going whenever you're going to do dinner? Or will you be heading out, watching the game together, and then doing dinner afterwards? That's what I come from traditionally. Growing up as a kid, we watched the game at my grandparents' house before Thanksgiving dinner, and then we also did Thanksgiving dinner there. And it was my whole family for the most part. We kind of mapped our day around the Detroit Lions game, and not kind of, we did. We mapped our day around the Detroit Lions Thanksgiving Day football game. If you didn't get out of your house in time to make it to my grandparents' house for the game to kick off, then you waited until halftime and tried to zoom out there. And if you didn't have enough time to do that, then you just waited till the game was over and came after, right? So we mapped our whole days around the Detroit Lions football games. I come from a football family, right? So, and afterwards we were out there putting in work, man. So the young kids, it was me and all of my cousins would be out there kind of mimicking the things that we saw during those games out there in the yard, playing football. So fond memories of me. Leave it in the comments, man. What do you do? What do you do on Thanksgiving Day? How do you watch the Detroit Lions football games? Where are you at? I'm interested to hear it. Now, lastly, what is your best memory of the Detroit Lions playing on Thanksgiving Day? I remember John Madden, Detroit Lions, turkey legs. They had that turkey that had what it felt like when I was a kid. It felt like it had 50 turkey legs on there. I think it was 6, if I remember correctly. I can't remember, but it had a bunch of legs on there, and the players of the game would all get a turkey leg afterward. I remember distinctly one key game, and I think it kind of flows into what we got going on tomorrow. 1997. Detroit Lions versus Chicago Bears. We absolutely dominated the Chicago Bears, and Barry Sanders went for 167 yards and 3 tutties. I would post some film in here, but I don't want to deal with any copyright issues, and I don't have the all 22 film to be able to post it. But Barry was doing this thing, man. He was making moves. He was making people look silly. And I remember distinctly afterwards, man, after that game, we all went outside and playing, and I was trying to be Barry Sanders. I probably wasn't doing too good of a job, but I was out there. I was trying to make the same moves that Barry made. Those are the things that I remember, man. Those are the things that excite me. So bring it back, guys. What do you guys remember, man? Because I remember afterwards too, Barry and his turkey leg, man, after the game, man, talking to John Madden, getting interviewed, the whole shebang. What's your fondest memory, guys? Drop it in the comments. What's your fondest memory? Thanksgiving Day game, Detroit Lions. I remember all of it. Pontiac Silverdome. We're talking Herman Moore. We're talking Eric Kramer. We're talking Scott Mitchell. We're talking Johnny Morton, Brett Perryman. I mean, I remember distinctly, man, some of those wars back in the day, man. So leave it in the comments. Let me know. What's your fondest Detroit Lions memory on Thanksgiving Day? What are your traditions for the game? Where do you watch it? Who do you watch it with? I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys. Before you get off, hit that like button, drop some comments, stick around. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and we'll be back with another show.